Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Skillet coming to you from X4 Foundations, the Terran Cadet series. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video today, I do want to give a shout out to Twinkle Vibe. You can find her on Discord. She is a graphic artist who has approached me about doing a new logo. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, I know I said that we were going to change up the logo a while ago. And I haven't commissioned an artist to do it. And right now my focus is a little bit elsewhere. I have it on the back burner. But I did see some of the art from Twinkle Vibe. I will put her Discord in the description. She is pretty good. There's one thing that I saw, which was I'm moving my mouse like it's going to my other screen. There was a very cool fiery piece. She does have some cool art there. If you want to go reach out to her, check her out, and see what she might be able to do for you guys, that'd be perfect. But today we have an announcement. The announcement is I did something. As you can see on the screen here, we have started a diplomatic event. And if you can guess, military investments. Not because it's written on your screen, but because I told you to guess. And that's right, from the Ministry of Finance to the Vigor Syndicate. Now, 8.0 beta is still ongoing. I don't know exactly what's going to happen here, if it's going to be full-out war, or if my agent is going to die because there is a risk to the agent for this. I don't know what's going to happen. But if you've also been paying attention to some recent posts, some recent comments, some things that I've said where I kind of want to do a series to make the Xenon great again, this is kind of a dry run, right? What can diplomacy really get us in terms of pitting one faction against the other? I'm very curious how this is going to turn out. And to do this, you do have to have somewhere between medium to high influence, which, again, influence is listed here. Thanks, Skillet. Dunce. Now we know. It's right there. It's listed right here. But you do need medium to high. You also need space fly caviar, and then you need to pick the factions and send your agent. We did that. We now have roughly an hour left before this issue gets resolved. And hopefully we will see that together in a stream. Hint, hint. We're going to be streaming X4 Foundations again because we are done with WoW. Yes. Pat on the back for that. We did it in short time. I took one whole day full of it just to get to level 20. Thank you for those that joined us on that stream as well. But today I want to talk to you about setting up a fleet. And I'm going to hand this off to you guys in the comments. Because in the beta, there are some weapons that have been doing better now than what they have in the past. If you're a follower of Ego Aut, that's EGO space AUT, he has some videos where beam weapons, Mason streams, Bison lances, mass drivers are doing better in Sector. And I also believe that Ragnos also has a video or two in regards to that as well. They kind of did some testing in this realm, unlike Skillet here, who hasn't really produced a fleet yet in this series. I will say this is probably the longest that we have gone without some sort of S-Class M kind of fleet combination. So we're getting around to it. Now we do have the startings of a capital fleet with the Sen and 4 Osaka destroyers. Currently, in position to defend our Hatikva Choice defense platform. Now, this grouping has done its job along with the station. And one of our next steps in this series is to push into Tharak's Cascade. Tharak's Cascade, as we all know, has a hazard, electromagnetic forces, in the sector that deplete shields. L-class ships being some of the perfect ships to go in here because their refresh rate is faster than their depletion rate for the electromagnetic storm, right? But they are prone to swarms of xenon, which swarms of xenon with hazardous areas can deplete shields and keep them depleted. Mix some graviton bolts in there from a K or an I or even a station, and we have disaster. So, to try to be able to thin out the xenon masses, S&M ships, we need to be able to have a fighter that can either punch hard fast or be able to have sustained combat within the sector. And since we are Terran-centric, we have a few choices of Terran ships. And we're going to break this down through the individual factions first. So, first faction, Terrans. We're here right now. Let's take a look at them. First ship we have up is the Gladius. It is a heavy fighter. Everybody knows this. Look at this. Look at this handsome gentleman. Look at his long wingspan. Look at him. His little pronged nose, his 4 forward-facing guns. The Gladius has a problem. Off jump, it's his speed. 199. Now, requirements here either hit fast or be able to sustain in combat. What the Gladius can do, because of 4 weapon slots, is it can hit fast. However, cost per ship is ridiculous. So let's just build this out. Okay, so 2 shields hopefully should be able to manage some weathering of the storm and incoming fire. Fingers crossed on that. And then if we toss up 4 Meson streams for quick hitting progress without computer, without flares, without a crew member, we are at 11 million. Cost effectiveness here, I don't see it. I don't. But again, this is going to be up to you guys to try to help decide. So, outside of the Gladius, we have the Kukri, which is not a bad ship, but comes with a fault on its own. With the Kukri, we get 244, which is superb in terms of speed for Terran and Sigeris ships. Let's put on the Combat Mark 1 engine. I'm sorry, I said engine, I meant shield. 1 shield, and this is its Achilles heel. Can it hit hard? More than likely. We've got 3 weapon slots. Can it sustain combat? No. With 1 shield, it should start automatically getting depleted when in a hazardous zone in Tharak's Cascade, which kind of makes this ship ineligible for the requirements needed. Now, if it does hit hard and hit fast, let's throw up 3 Mesons. We're at 8 million. Now, is this more cost-effective than a Gladius? Sure. Is it the most cost-effective ship? Probably not. Probably not. So, what does that leave us? Well, that leaves us with Sargeras Pioneers. If I can click on the S key, we'll get there. Now, Sargeras has the Kalis, which, if you have been with the channel for a while now, we have used the Kalis along with the She, and the Kalis has done great. Combat Mark III, we're at 220, just slightly slower than the Kukri. Slightly slower. Put on the Mark I thrusters, 4 shields. Now, this means that this ship should be able to sustain combat, and if we have this refit at a Terran or our own wharf or equipment dock, we can use the Meson streams to have it as a heavy hitter and still be pretty cost effective, because 4 shields, and we'll just kit this out to its full extent. We're at 1.6 million. 1.6 million, which is a far cry from 8.6 million. It's ridiculous numbers. This is a contender for those requirements. Now, we also have the Takoba, which is a good all-round fighter. The Takoba with Mark III engines, or combat engines, we're at 411. This is by far one of the quickest Terran ships. S-class, at least. Put on the Combat Mark I thrusters, put on the 2 shields, and again, 2 weapon slots. With the Mesons, we might have a very sturdy first strike combo here, with speed of 411, with the damage of the 2 Meson streams, and a cost of 1.7 million from Sargeras. Well, let's actually kit this out. Actually, give me a second. Roughly 1.8 million before a refit. It's more cost effective here as well. And Meson streams are what, 1.2, 1.3 million? Which, you know, ups the cost here, but gives us a heavy first strike capability. And then what we could do, food for thought, is we could come in with the Kalis to mop up the remainder of the enemy. Now, full disclosure with this, I do not believe I have the Meson stream purchased, the blueprint purchased for our wharf. It'd been probably a good thing to figure out before I did this video. But we do have what we're talking about, the Kalis. Right now, we only have the pulse laser and the proton barrage. Now, we could technically, cost effectively, build the ships here and then send them to get refit at Terran Wharf, which might be cheaper than actually purchasing the blueprint. But let's find out.
Hello there.
You are just the manager.
Good luck out there.
I lied to myself. I thought I was in the capital. I was not. Let us go to our HQ and let's figure out what this cost is for the blueprint.
Entering system. Grand exchange.
That was a little wonky there. Whoa. Hey, behind the scenes. Teleportation. You're the Yaki. You are the Terran representative. Let's buy blueprints. Let's go equipment. Let's go weapons. Maison Stream. Okay, so S. Maison Stream. Jesus. 27 million. So we can actually save ourselves some money by not purchasing this just yet. We do need to get to L fabrication and XL fabrication. So we are on the way to do that. To cut corners here and not purchase the blueprint for the Maison Stream, we're just not going to do it. We'll go get the ship's refit.
Good luck out there.
Thanks, dude. But that also leaves us with another question. Other than S-class ships, what about M-class ships? Now, the Terrans here will have the ships. Because what the Terrans have, but the Sagaris Pioneers don't, is the Fulks and the Geon. Now, the Geon, if we're going to take a look at this, 2 shields, 1 forward-facing weapon, but it is a gunboat. And if you go back to the M-class video that we did a year and a half ago, the Geon is not that bad in the player's hands. And with the beam weapons being a little bit better, this could be a good addition to possibly defensive elements of the capital ships. And if we do go in sector, hopefully these ships have a higher survivability rate than if we weren't in sector. Other than Geon, we have the Fulks, which could be a safe haven for S-class ships. Or it could be our drone carrier, so we don't lose S-class ships. Now, for drones, I can't remember what the name of it's called. We can have 12. What is it? Deployables? Units. Units, 12. We can have 12 fence drones, which at that point can supplement what we could actually purchase ships for. And if we get an auxiliary ship, we can just hammer out drones all day, honestly. We don't have to replenish ships per se, but we can replenish drones a lot easier. Now we've got 20,000 of a hull point here, and we've got, again, just 2 shields. But we do have turrets, and we have 4 forward-facing weapons. Maisons here are 4.8 million a pop. Love it. I love the Terrans. So expensive. But we also have the tried and true katanas, and we actually have a number of these katanas already in service within our Navy. They are the guards units, which we have 1, 2, 3 filled rosters of ships, which we could add these in addition to the fleet. Now, these can run interference. They could do intercept commands. They should be able to hold their own in the sector. They can hit pretty hard, and in combination with the turrets on the capital ships, hopefully it could make short work of any of the opponents. This is all very optimistic. Very all optimistic, because if you go back and you watch some of Ragnos's videos, We know since 7.1, capital ship combat is not that great. S-class ships are really the way to go. And right now, in this playthrough, we do not have a carrier, and we do not have an auxiliary ship. We can recoup some of our losses. Sorry, we can recoup some of our losses with our own wharf. Not going to be able to do it all, but we can recoup some of those losses. But here I'm going to leave it up to you, the viewer. What do you think the fleet should be made up of? Now again, requirements here has to be heavy hitting or has to be able to sustain fighting in Tharak's Cascade. We are going to try to keep things Terran. So Sagara ships, Terran ships. We have the full roster. Let me know what you think. What you think would do best in this. Because coming up in the next few episodes, we are going to take the fight to the Xenon. Or maybe it's going to be in a stream. Who knows? Labor Day weekend's right around the corner. But before we go, I do want to, again, thank all of you. I hope you enjoy the series. I hope you like where we're going to go with this. Do check out or reach out to Twinkle Vibe. Very, very cool graphic artist. So I will put her Discord name in the description. Almost got tongue-tied. But I hope to see you guys again. Skillet signing out for now. I hope you enjoy whenever you watch. Morning, afternoon, evening. Good night.